Hey y'all, welcome to Readings of Woollyshire. I'm surrounded this evening, but we're going to read Lyle the Crocodile by Bernard Waber. Bernard Waber. Special thanks to our friend Ashley who sent us this book. It's a collection of 4 stories, but tonight we'll only be reading one of the stories. So let's see which Lyle the Crocodile one we'll be reading. We'll be reading The House on East 88th Street. Y'all ready? You're like, just keep feeding me the hay, lady. All right. This is the house on East 88th Street. It's empty now, but it won't be for long. Strange sounds come from the house. Can you hear them? Listen. Swish, swash, splash, swoosh. It began one sunny morning when the citywide storage and moving company truck pulled up to the house on East 88th Street and unloaded the belongings of Mr. and Mrs. Joseph F. Primm and their young son Joshua. Honky Tonky, you're still upset that I haven't read it there. But it rained all day till just like right about now it stopped raining. So I'm sorry. Maybe next weekend? They're like, we don't care. It was a trying day for everyone. Mrs. Primm just couldn't decide where to put the piano. And Mr. Primm's favorite pipe was accidentally packed away in one of dozens of cartons lying about. Swish, swash, splash, swoosh. Loudly and clearly the sounds now rumbled through the house. It's only a little thunder, Mrs. Primm assured everyone. When a citywide storage and moving van carried in their potted pistachio tree, everyone rejoiced. The truck was at last empty. The movers wished them well and hurried off to their... Hey, what are you doing? Hurried off to their next job for the day. What are you doing, Puddin' Pop? You don't even care. Now I'm going to prepare our lunch, announced Mrs. Primm. But first, I want to go upstairs and wash these grimy hands. Swish, swash, splash, swoosh. A puzzled Mrs. Primm stopped to listen. By and by, her ears directed her to the bathroom door. What can it be? She asked herself as she opened the door. What she saw made her slam it quickly shut. Oh, who's that in the bathroom? Mrs. Primm knew she was going to scream and just waited for it to happen. But she couldn't scream. She could scarcely even talk. The most Mrs. Primm was able to manage was a sharp, hoarse whisper of a voice which she used to call Mr. Primm. Joseph? She said, there's a crocodile in our bathtub. But she never thought she'd be saying that in her life. Mr. Primm looked into the bathroom. Look how big her eyes are. Oh, that's about every time I'm putting out hay for you guys. Your eyes are like... Woo! The crocodile's in my bathtub. The next moment found them flying off in different directions. Help! Help! Mrs. Primm cried out as she struggled with a window stuck with fresh paint. Operator! Operator! Mr. Primm shouted in the telephone, and then he remembered that it was not yet connected. Joshua, who had heard everything, raced to the front door, to be greeted there by an oddly dressed man who handed him a note. This will explain everything about the crocodile, said the man, leaving quietly but swiftly. There he is at the front door there. Mr. Primm read the note. Please be kind to my crocodile. He is the most gentle of creatures. And would not do harm to a flea. He must have tender, loving care, for he is an artist and can perform many good tricks. Perhaps he will perform some for you, Cupcakes. I shall return. Cordially, Hector P. Valente, star of stage and screen. P.S. He will eat only Turkish caviar. P.P.S. His name is Lyle. Turkish caviar, indeed, exclaimed Mrs. Prim. Oh, to think this could happen on East 88th Street. Whatever will we do with him? And suddenly, before anyone could think of a worthy answer, there was Lyle. And just as suddenly he got a hold of a ball that had been lying among Joshua's belongings and began to balance it on his nose, roll it down the notches of his spine, and now he was walking on his front feet and taking flying leaps. Look at all his tricks he's got. We'll hold him up on cupcakes back here. Man, now I gotta get a crocodile. Now he was twirling Joshua's hoop, doing it so expertly that the Primms just had to clap their hands and laugh. And Lyle bowed appreciatively. He had won his way into their hearts and into their new home. They do more. Every home should have a crocodile, said Mrs. Prim one day. Lyle is one of the family now. He loves helping out with the chores. He won't allow anyone else to carry out old newspapers or take in the milk. He folds towels, feeds the bird, and when he sets a table, there's always a surprise. I had only to show him once how to make up a bed. People everywhere stop to talk with him. They say he's the nicest crocodile they ever met. Lyle likes to play in the park, and he always goes once around in the pony cart. Look, there he is in that pony cart. What do you think about that, Dumore? Oh, Bubbles? You want a pony cart? And he has learned to eat something besides Turkish caviar. Lyle is a good sport. Everyone wants to play on his side. He is wonderful company. We take him everywhere. Just give him his Turkish caviar and his bed of warm water, and he is as happy as a bird. Look at him in that bathtub. And he's riding in the car. He's a right old party animal. Pushing on me. One day, a brass band paraded past the house on East 88th Street. The Prim family rushed to the window to watch. But they called for Lyle, but there was no answer. Look, someone pointed out, it's Lyle. He's in the parade. There was Lyle doing his specialty somersault, flying leaps, walking on front feet, and taking bows, just as he did the first day they laid eyes on him. The people watching cheered him on, and while Lyle smiled back at them and blew kisses, a photographer was on hand to take pictures. The next day, Lyle was famous. The telephone rang continually. Bundles of mail were dropped by the door. One letter was from someone Lyle knew particularly well. Mr. Prim read it. Just a few words to say. I shall return. Cordially, Hector P. Valente, star of stage and screen. P.S. Very soon. P.P.S. to fetch my crocodile. Several days later, Mrs. Prim and Lyle were in the kitchen. Oh, it's so funny. All right, so let's start again. Several days later, Mrs. Prim and Lyle were in the kitchen shelling peas when they heard a knocking at the door. It was Hector P. Valente, star of stage and screen. I have come for Lyle, announced Senor Valente. Woo! Oh, that tickles. Oh, Tootsie the Bison pushed you out of the way. You can't have Lyle, cried Mrs. Prim. He's very happy living here, and we love him dearly. Lyle must be returned to me, insisted Senor Valente. Was it not I who raised him from young crocodilehood? Was it not I who taught him his bag of tricks? We have appeared together on stages the world over. But why then did you leave him alone in a strange house? Asked Mrs. Prim. Because, answered Senor Valente, I could no longer afford to pay for his Turkish caviar. But now Lyle is famous, and we shall be very rich. Mrs. Primm was saddened, but she knew Lyle properly belonged to Signor Valente, and she had to let him go. It was a tearful parting for everyone. All right, Tootsie, give me some space here. You big gorilla. Dang. Woohoo, y'all getting out of that one's way. Signor Valente had big plans for Lyle. They were to travel far and wide and stay in many hotels. What would you do if you saw a crocodile in the hotel lobby? So, start again. Stay in many hotels, where sometimes the tubs were too big, other times too small, or too crowded. Too big, too small, too crowded. Get out of there, Signor Valente. Signor Valente did what he could to coax a smile from Lyle. He tried making funny faces at him. He stood on his head. He tickled his toes, told him uproarious stories, and that in happier days would have had Lyle doubled over with laughter. But Lyle could not laugh, nor could he make people laugh. He made them cry instead. One night in Paris, he had made an entire audience cry. The theater manager was furious and ordered them off the stage. Oh no! Oh no, Tootsie! Tootsie with your big booty! Oh man, now we're sideways. Here we go. Ha! You better get a permit for that thing. Meanwhile, my camera's all crooked now. Oh well. Meanwhile, at the house on East 88th Street, Mrs. Primm went about her work without her usual bright smile, and deep sighs could be heard coming from behind the newspaper Mr. Primm was reading. Every morning, Joshua anxiously waited the arrival of the mailman in hope of receiving word from Lyle. One morning, a letter did come. He knew the handwriting very well. It read, "Just a few words to say, we shall return. Cordially, Hector P. Valente, former star of stage and screen. P.S. I'm sick of crocodiles. P.P.S. and the tears of crocodiles." Sounds like their working relationship isn't going so well. Not too many days after, the Primms were delighted to find Hector P. Valente and Lyle at their door. Ooh, don't be nasty, Tootsie. "Here, take him back," said Signor Valente. "He is no good. He'll never make anyone laugh again." But Signor Valente was very much mistaken. Everyone laughed, and laughed, and laughed. And in the end, so did Signor Valente. There he is getting back home. But I'm so happy to see him. So now, if you should happen to be walking past the house on East 88th Street, and if you should happen to hear sounds that go swish, swash, splash, swoosh, don't be surprised. It's only Lyle the Crocodile. The end. There he is flying a kite. Oh, that was pretty fun. Signor Valente. For our next one we're going to read, a different time, we'll be reading Lyle Crocodile. That'll be the next in our series on that. Did you guys enjoy it? I think I'm wearing half your dinner on me here. Woo! We got coconut, we got marmalade, Dumar, little half moon here, and this little guy right here is Leroy, but you only get an ear. Oh, he's gonna ride on through. Well, thank you for joining us this evening. Have fun. Bye, y'all.